is I, Megan from Vigilante Vibes, and I want to talk more about mutants today. If you've been keeping up, which you should have been if you have liked and subscribed. If you have not, be sure to like and subscribe. But if you have been keeping up, you know that I am going through all my favorite mutants right now and character breakdowns and just talking about them in general. Today, I wanted to talk about the Scarlet Witch. There's been some back and forth as to whether or not she's really a mutant, but I'll get into that. But she has such a rich history as a character that breaking her down into one episode would be bananas. So today, I want to give you 10 facts you didn't know about Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. Or maybe you did know them, I don't know, but we'll see. Number 1. Scarlet Witch was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. Both comic book legends have been responsible for some of the most successful franchises in comic book history. Those characters include Thor, X-Men, Hulk, Iron Man, and Fantastic Four. Stan Lee once said about Scarlet Witch and her brother Quicksilver, I remember that I liked Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch very much, and I thought it would be fun to have villains who aren't really bad deep down. Lee told comics creators on X-Men. We already had a reluctant hero with Spider-Man, so I thought it would be fun to create a pair of reluctant villains. I had big plans for Quicksilver and the Scarlet Witch. I wanted them to eventually give up being villains and become heroes. That's why I used them in the Avengers after I left X-Men. So there you have it. That's kind of cool. I didn't know there was that kind of deep plan for Scarlet Witch and Pietro, but I like it. It's cool. Number 2. She actually is a witch. Many fans, particularly newer fans who have not read a lot of the comics featuring her, have stated over the years that she was not really a witch. Wanda was widely known as a mutant whose gene mutations allow her to use metaphysical powers resembling a witch. However, this was not the only reason for Wanda's magic. She was ordained in magical powers as a baby in the Wundagore Mountains and received actual real magical training from the witch Agatha Harkness. Therefore, she is a real bona fide witch. Number 3. Her mother got assistance from a cow when she gave birth to Wanda and Pietro. Yes, you heard me correctly. It is the world of comic books after all. Bova Ayrshire was an evolved cow created by rogue scientist, High Evolutionary, as one of his new men. That's animals given humanoid form and intelligence. She was created to serve as the nursemaid and caretaker to the other new men. A pregnant Magda Lenscher arrived at the evolutionary citadel one day, fleeing from her husband. Bova ended up being her midwife when she went into labor and helping bring Wanda and Pietro into the Marvel world. So it's weird, but it's comics, and comics are supposed to be weird, and I like it. Number 4, Wanda doesn't drink, and she's a vegetarian. It was revealed in Scarlet Witch Volume 2 that Wanda, she's all about that healthy lifestyle, it seems. Fun fact, Magneto is also a vegetarian. So, there you go. We have to talk about Wanda and her very confusing parentage. So number 5, it was once a known fact that Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver were the children of Magneto. For a time, there was also the possibility that the Golden Age superhero named the Wizard was their father. The Wizard was a speedster very much like Quicksilver. He was a member of the Golden Age superhero team named the Invaders. But recently it's been revealed that Magneto is not the father of the twins. So if that's the case, then who is the daddy? Turns out their parents are Maria and Django Maximoff after all, until further notice, because it is comics. There are so many various stories about where Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver received their powers and who their real parents were. We may never know for sure who their parents are. But as of right now, it's the Maximoffs. So, who knows? It could change. Number 6. She was originally a supervillain. Scarlet Witch is a fan favorite superhero these days, but not everyone knows that her and her twin brother actually started out as mutant villains. They first showed up in X-Men number 4 back in 1964 as reluctant members of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, a group led by Magneto, one of the X-Men's biggest enemies. And he's based too. I like Magneto. Her connection to Magneto goes way back into her younger years. A mob of villagers tried to burn her at the stake, thinking she was a real witch, which, I mean, she is, but. And Magneto stepped in to save her. Since he gave her protection, she felt like she owed him and ended up joining his cause, at least for a while. She carried on a lot of anger towards humans, but eventually Magneto's ruthless methods became too much for her. Not long after, she switched sides and joined the Avengers. Over time, Scarlet Witch's unstable emotions and unpredictable powers have caused her to flip between hero and villain more than once. So there you have it. So, number 7, we obviously have to talk about her kids, Billy and Tommy. You can't not talk about them when Scarlet Witch is in the conversation. Wanda's ability to mess with reality often made it hard for her to connect with others, which is probably why she bonded so deeply with Vision, the synthezoid most fans know from the Avengers. In the comics, Wanda and Vision had a long-running romance and even got their own series, The Vision and the Scarlet Witch, which also just was re-upped by Steve Orlando recently. And it's a lot of fun, so you should check that out. I think it's on the 3rd issue now. They eventually had twin boys, Tommy and Billy, who Wanda magically created using her powers. It all seemed like a happily ever after situation, but things take a dark turn, as they sometimes do. Unbeknownst to her, the magic she used to create her kids was tied to fragments of Mephisto, a demon with some serious bad vibes. And if you want to know more about those bad vibes, I have a breakdown of Mephisto and how bad he is. It's really bad. Through his creepy agent master Pandemonium, Mephisto launched a plan to slowly pull the rug out from under Wanda, starting with Vision. He had Vision kidnapped and taken apart, then rebuilt without emotions, which completely devastated Wanda. Eventually, Pandemonium absorbed the twin souls back into Mephisto, tearing Wanda's world apart. Her relationship with Vision was never the same, and the trauma from it all pushed her further into emotional instability, setting off some major events in the Marvel Universe. And we love all of those events. Probably shouldn't, but we do. Come on, she's been through it. Number 8. This one's a big one. She was engaged to be married to Doctor Doom. At this point in Marvel's history, the Scarlet Witch had been missing ever since 2005's House of M number 8. And it wasn't until 2010's Avengers: The Children's Crusade number 3, which is a hell of a run, you have to read it, that Wanda's whereabouts became known. The young Avengers and Magneto went to Wundagore, where they found a Doom bot of Wanda in her place. Clearly, the Scarlet Witch was in Doctor Doom's country of Latveria. Shockingly enough, however, when Wanda was found, she was engaged to marry Doctor Doom. To everyone's surprise, Wanda was with Doom on her own free will. With no memory of who she was, Scarlet Witch still seemed determined to marry Doctor Doom, as she had sincerely fallen in love with him. Apparently, Wanda came to Latveria seeking Doom's aid for her village. Once there, the two fell in love. Of course, when Wanda's son Wiccan arrived, she showed some doubts about her relationship with Doom. This was especially true when Doom didn't want Wanda to know about her past life. Things drastically changed when the Scarlet Witch regained her memories, altering her relationship with Doom. For example, Wanda knew for sure she could not trust her former fiancé. Even so, the Scarlet Witch still turned to Doctor Doom for help in attempting to reignite the mutant race. The problem arose, however, when the spell went haywire, giving all of Wanda's reality warping power to Doom. Even with all of this power, however, Doom was still determined to marry Wanda, demonstrating his clear love for the Scarlet Witch. Yet, the only scenario in which Wanda would agree was if Doom gave up his power, which he would not do. I'd be honest, guys, I kind of wanted them to get married. Imagine she went full villain. Oh, The chaos they could have created. Incredible. So, number 9. She's defeated the Phoenix Force. After years in solitude after the House of M event, Wanda was sought out and rejoined the Avengers during the Avengers vs. X-Men event. When the Phoenix Force was absorbed by Cyclops, Emma Frost, and 3 others, Hope Summer became their target, and she was destined to wield the power of the Phoenix Force. However, Wanda's powers was so great that she managed to hurt Cyclops when he tried taking Hope. After helping defeat Cyclops, Hope absorbed the Phoenix Force. Working with Hope, Wanda used her magic to expel the Phoenix Force and destroy it, whispering, "No more Phoenix," which undid the aftermath of M Day. Number 10, my final one, and it's a biggie. She is the Nexus being of the Marvel Universe. Wanda Maximoff might just be the most powerful character in the entire Marvel Universe. It literally took both Doctor Strange and Professor X working together just to shut her mind off for a while. And even that didn't last long. Her powers are tied into the Earth's life force, and she can affect multiple dimensions at once, sometimes without even meaning to. At one point, she even brought Wonder Man back from the dead and seemingly pulled him from another reality. As you probably know, one of her most infamous moments was when she wiped out the powers of most of the mutant population. She basically erased the existence of the mutant genome, which had been created by the ancient godlike celestials. And she didn't just do it to one world, it happened across the multiverse. According to Doctor Strange, the spell was so insanely powerful and complex that trying to reverse it would literally tear reality apart. Eventually, it's revealed that Wanda was actually a Nexus being of Earth 616, Marvel's main universe. That means she's basically the living anchor of that reality, kind of like the center of the universe's balance. She shares that rare status with a handful of other heavy hitters like Odin, Jean Grey as the Phoenix, Franklin Richards, Kang the Conqueror, and a couple others. So, that is 10 things you may or may not have known about Scarlet Witch. Maybe someday I'll make a full breakdown of her, but today I don't feel like talking for 2 hours straight. What can you do? So, with that being said, make sure you've liked and subscribed so you don't miss any more of these character breakdowns, these fun facts, all the mutant coverage your heart can ask for. So, with that being said, have a marvelous day.